Hi, I'm Luis Chiappy,
I'm Cary Chiappy.
and we have been members of Christ Journey for 31 years.
We had just moved to the Gables. We had lost everything in Hurricane Andrew. It was devastating. We practically had to start all over. I mean, from buying toothbrushes and toothpaste to onward, anything and everything you can imagine in your home. And we had to go through a transition period. Like we lived in Miami Lakes in a 2-bedroom apartment.
Afterwards,
Trying to find our bearings, where we wanted to end up. And then we decided we wanted to be south only because of the family. All the family is in Miami, in this close by. So we knew we wanted to end up in this area. So that's when we found a place in Coral Gables, and God put it in our hands. I mean, the minute we saw our house, we knew that was the house for us.
we were looking for a Baptist church in our neighborhood, and we had heard great things about then called University Baptist Church. And when we started attending, we knew why we had heard so many good things, and we made it our church home.
We were going to explore other churches, and we didn't. We just stayed. From the minute we came to this church, it felt like home. It just felt right. And we just stayed. We were going to explore other churches, and we didn't. We just stayed. Our other church was mainly in Spanish, and we wanted the kids to be more involved. So when we came to this church, definitely they were both more into it because it was all in English. And of course, their friends from school were here, and they both accepted Jesus at this church, and they both got baptized here. My daughter did it at camp one year, and our son accepted Jesus in kids camp, I think it was, but then he got baptized, and we were able, with our daughter, we never got to experience it. With him, we did get to see him get baptized. So it's made an impact in our family, and through the years, it's held us together, even amidst life has ups and downs, but you still have home to come to.
I think it is important that as a young family, we wanted to raise our children in a Christian environment, not only at home, but have a church to partner with us so that they would be taught the Christianity and the truth. For us, I think that is the key to life, is just knowing the Lord, having a relationship with God, surrendering your life to Him, and holding His hand in full trust. And throughout our entire lives, we can just see God's great faithfulness through us. And for us to be able to raise our children here, grow as a young couple, we also benefited so much, not only from the great preaching. Bill and Lisa are dear friends of ours. We've actually have gone through the journey of life together, through the ups and downs of life. For us to be able to benefit from the great mentors and role models that I was able to find here as a young man, growing a family, being a young husband, a young father, business person, and to see so many good role models that became mentors of mine and real dear friends, someone that I could look up to and try to emulate, was very, very helpful.
Through the years, I mean, I did belong to a Bible study for over 13 years, did meet a lot of great women, and yeah, they prayed me through many things, believe me. So they've been a good backdrop for me. Well, we have what you would call a prodigal son. We have a child that, even though he was raised in Christian school, came to this church, did everything, he's deviated. But even he, during times when I've told him, you don't have to come to our church. You can go anywhere. And he says, no, this feels like home. I want to come here. He doesn't do it consistently, but we know God is working on him, and I know He's going to bring him back.
I love the name of our church, Christ Journey, our new adopted name, obviously. But I think it really tells what it is we do. Life is a journey. Mm-hmm. And as Jesus told His disciples, in this world you will have trouble, but fear not, I have overcome the world. And that's exactly the way that our journey has been. So we've had a wonderful, blessed life in many, many respects, and been able to have a great church home here in Christ Journey. We have experiences, downfalls. We have experiences, challenges. I was diagnosed with colon cancer when I was just 40 years old. And that has transformed my life. And I remember not knowing what would happen in the future, being in the hospital and sitting there waiting for the diagnosis to come in and the pathology reports, not knowing if I was going to be able to live, and contemplating, my life. I was running the tape of my life up until that point, and I really thank God for a blessed life, how faithful He's always been. My life has been full of miracles, and the one thing I felt that I had not yet accomplished is that throughout this journey, I had given my best to the world and the leftovers to God. So I made it a point, and I prayed that if God would grant me another chance, that I would come back and give Him my very best, especially through all the things that He allowed me to experience and all the training they had given me in this life journey, to put it at His disposal, to actually bear good fruit for His name and glory, and give Him my very best.
Well, for me, the day of the surgery, it was a little surreal. I'm sitting there. I felt like a million people, but it wasn't. It looked like 40 people around me, and it was too much talking. I like silence, especially when I'm going through something. But I had all these people, but it's like God just calmed me right down, and I was calm, and I'm just sitting there and letting everybody just talk. And then the surgeon came out, and he said, I don't know what happened, but that thing, it was tiny. It wasn't tiny last week when I saw it, and it was tiny today. The tumor. And I just looked at him and I go, I know what happened. God happened. And he just looked at me like, wow. And he just walked away from me, and then everybody started clapping and everything. And then but I just felt like God was telling me, don't worry, I've got this. You're okay.
Yeah, that's my life of miracles for sure.
Yeah.
So God spared my life, thank God, and gave me a great opportunity to really transform who I am as a human being. And I came back and became very, very involved in the church. Throughout this whole ordeal, this church was, again, very supportive. But I got involved in just about everything that was going on. Long Range Council of Ministry, Long Range Planning Committee. I started giving back and using all the training, I call it training, of life training that God had given me, to put it and give Him my very best. And I've stayed on that ever since. Got involved with a number of other Christian organizations, and it's been my pleasure to be part of His story. And it's the coolest thing to be part of His story.
And it's funny because I also volunteered a lot in the VBS, and they always put me in the kitchen. And anybody that knows me knows I hate cooking, but I always ended up volunteering in the kitchen for some reason. But that's where God wanted me, so that's where I was.
So throughout our 31-year journey thus far, and counting, with our church, I remember early on in our attendance that they had a new capital campaign for this Sunset property, where we actually were going to build a very large church to bring more people and again, to be able to have more opportunities to evangelize and bring people to Jesus. And so we started participating in that giving campaign. Throughout our lives, we have actually tried to be good stewards of the funds and the monies that God have given us, and the many blessings He's given us, and we've always tithed, and we've always participated in that. So every time a capital campaign comes up, or opportunities for me to give to the kingdom, I see it as an opportunity for me to glorify God, to show my gratitude for how good He's been in our lives, and to once again surrender to Him. And surrender, the most difficult thing that we have to surrender, I always say that's almost like the last step of surrender, is our money, because that requires complete trust in Him. But I believe that is a great, great blessing. It's a great adventure. And throughout my whole life, I have seen how He has blessed and honored our faith and trust in Him. I know we're in the process right now. We're almost there. And I say that because through, again, giving my God my best, when I came back from my cancer surgery, Cary and I had the opportunity to chair one of the capital campaigns, Homeward Bound. And we got very, very involved in that. And that was a great journey. And we called it Homeward Bound because we thought that we were bound. Point. That's it. We were going to the Sunset property. And obviously God had different plans. God's time is perfect. He knows why things happen the way they do. The longer I live, the more convinced I am of that. And so anyway, it didn't happen. But now we're very excited that now the walls are up. We've secured the probability of everything happening at this time. It's coincidental that it is anticipated that the groundbreaking is going to be on the 100th year anniversary of our church. And now when you look at that, you see,
That's why he was.
maybe God he knew best.
He
He
knew.
knew the timing was his timing. And so this is going to be our 5th capital campaign. When Bill called us to participate, I said, here we go again. And then once again, we prayed about it. We understand that it's a privilege again and a gift to be part of his story, and for us to once again entrust him with our finances, trusting him in this capital campaign that the future beckons. And we're very, very excited that finally we're going to go to Sunset Property as our second church.
We also have a grandson now, so we're hoping that will become their church. Looking forward, and they'll recommit. They are committed to raising him, but right now they live very far away. Once they move, they're hoping to move by the start of the year. So then they'll be closer to the new church, and they'll be able to raise him in that church. And we're looking forward to that. We're really vested in that and looking forward to that. We just believe in it. We really believe in this. We believe in what this church can do, and we believe in this. When you really believe, it just pours out of you.
I'm all in on the mission to introduce people to Christ and show them how to grow to be like him. So I'm all in.